This is how you come down. Oh my God. Whew, I'm finally back and it is so hot here. It's absolutely ridiculous. And Sarah and I wrestled her old air conditioner in that you fit in a window. And we put it in the sliding glass door there like over an hour ago and then blocked the doorway into it from the shop here. And I sat there and I turned the air conditioner off. And I tried to record for like 5 minutes and I started to freaking melt. So, I'm back. I'm just going to sit in the shop here on a concrete floor. It's like 10 times cooler. It's so bizarre. It is hell in there. All right, listen to this. Might be an echo in here. Oh well. This email has no title subject. The eyes of Bigfoot. Big feet. Indigenous people of North America will warn you not to look into their eyes or they can control you. The eyes are the window to your soul. William Shakespeare. Let's look at the eye scientifically and some possible things, happenings, and anything relevant. Most predominant mention of eye color, red. Why red? First, a little book learning. There's no difference between radar waves or visible light spectrum or microwaves. They're all the same thing. The only difference being in their frequency and therefore wavelength. The human optic nerve can sense our visible light spectrum. There is no reason another being couldn't have a different optic nerve that might allow it to see microwaves. I don't know what that would look like. Let's talk about wavelength. Wavelength and frequency are two sides of the same coin. Frequency is defined as the number of wavelengths per second. The unit is hertz, Hz. Hertz is defined as number of wavelengths per second to 35 hertz is 35 wavelengths per second. But talking about wavelengths is more helpful because now I can't answer the question, why are their eyes red? Light waves scatter when they are reflected in every direction, when they encounter atoms or molecules that are about the same width as their wavelength. So, why is the sky blue? It's because the size of the molecules of nitrogen and oxygen are about the same length as the wavelength of blue light. On a different planet with a different atmosphere, the sky would appear a different color. The red wavelength is a long wavelength. Blue light is at the other end of the spectrum, a very short wavelength. So, blue light is scattered by the nitrogen and the oxygen in the air, but also by any particulates, like smoke, fog, rain, or snow. But red light has a long wavelength, which can pass over and through these particles without losing strength. And if you could see in the red and infrared, you would have a distinct advantage when visibility was low. The people have often commented on yellow eyes. A little book learning. The best fog lights would be red lights, but two things. They knew red lights were most visible and made them brake lights. And red lights for safety, and the brake lights made sense. But it doesn't appear as bright to us as blue. Remember, our sky is blue, so orange is the next choice in the spectrum, then yellow. Think of yellow as the halfway point from blue to red. You'll see some orange fog lights, but more yellow. But I have seen accounts of eye shine from red to blue and everything in between. Why is that? I'll tell you. The trail cameras. Think of a laser that you have seen. Now imagine a laser that's a little farther into the infrared frequency that you can't see, so you don't think about it. The big feet see it. This is called the Sabe people, all right? Now here's an analogy. I have not simplified it. Imagine a 1 million candle power flashlight, but you yourself do not and cannot see in that spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. And that's why you choose that spectrum to put up a surveillance camera using that spectrum, foolishly, assuming that the creature you're trying to capture an image of sees the same thing you do. That's what happens with the trail cams, sabe, and other cryptids. See our foolishly constructed trail cam traps like a billboard. They see our foolishly constructed trail cam traps like a billboard on Broadway. The reason that there is a constant red beam coming out of the camera. That's what trips the picture and focuses the camera if you have that option. Think of what you would see if you come upon an area and a 1 million candle power light beam was shining down. Well, you probably wouldn't advance, at least not right away. But in this instance, this being, is foolishly using the spectrum you can see because he can't see it. That's what we are doing with Sabe. There is one very simple way around this. Just have a camera that takes a photo every 15 seconds or sooner. No flash, no light, and a very wide aperture lens. So no focusing is necessary, and you just might get a pic. And then a second email, same person. Let's talk more about it. The eyes. I'm almost embarrassed by the length of this email, but it's all necessary, and once you hear it, only new developments will require me to report more on it. A couple of things here you haven't thought about, and other people haven't thought about other stuff, but I'm trying to bring everyone together here with what I believe to be the truth. I'm not a genius. I have a degree in physics, and I understand certain things, but I do not think that Steve does. But I do one thing that Steve does all the time, and that's look for patterns. When I find 3 people from 3 different walks of life and they saw the same thing, that's a lock for me. All right, appreciate that, and especially that little follow-up email. Patterns. You have been preaching that for a while now. Patterns. We need to look for the patterns. Patterns is truth, right? The infrared beams, etc. We had our very generous military fighter pilot email sent about his experience in Afghanistan with the IR flash, and he proved that being could see it easily. Now, what do we have next? This next one's titled The Recipe. Dear Steve, thank you for reading my story and reading the story of the people. What you do is priceless. Please do not stop. You've asked recently, summer 23, what the recipe is or what tactic is used to get one of us to do such a horrible thing as hide the truth from each other. It is fear. I've relayed the first experience I remember. Thank you for reading. It was peaceful, it was strong, potent, and I emphasize peaceful, and yet indelible on my mind, but no real fear. What I'd like to share now is the fear. You might hear some weird sounds in the background. It's the deep freezes over there making a little gurgle sound. Over a decade later, in the early 20-teens, in the El Dorado National Forest, not far from Lake Tahoe in northern central California, on a family camping trip, I took my boys to a frequented spot. There was a pool in a creek just off a state road. Famous or infamous, dealer's choice, almost everyone who has been to Union Valley Reservoir knows where I'm talking about. Everyone stops there to jump off the rocks into the pool and cut off into the mountain stream to escape the California summer heat. My kids were feeling adventurous, so I followed them upstream to their heart's content. Maybe 60 to 75 minutes into their exploration upstream, I began to feel uncomfortable. Then I began to feel more and more uneasy. With every step, it worsened. We reached a point where I could not stand it any further. Sorry for the interruption. We've got a bad dog. Yeah, Sarah opened up the front gate to put the horses on the other side of the road, and she escaped and went for a burn down the road and made her very frustrated. I think she jumped in somebody's pond. She's soaking wet. So, there you go. Lay down. We reached a point where I could not stand it any further. I asked my kids if they were hungry. Their reply was a strong no. A few more steps and I could not take it anymore. I told my kids that I was sorry, and I just could not survive without lunch. Despite the fun they were having, we had to turn back. It almost brought me to tears. Due to the follies of youth, they were only with me a short time, and with their mother, the rest. Ending their fun and exploration because of my gut feelings broke my heart in ways words can't describe. Oh well, your kids are still alive and they're not suffering. They agreed, sweetest kids to this day, and we began the trip back. A few steps in, the fear intensified to a point I cannot describe. I put both kids in front of me and told them they cannot be more than an arm's length from each other, explaining to them that it is... Oh my God, I just got sprayed from a wet dog. You gotta be kidding me. Sorry, you guys. I put both kids in front of me and told them they could not be more than arm's length from each other, after explaining to them that it is so they can keep each other up in case they slip. It also kept them in the center of my vision within 5 yards of me. At the same time, I spun my backpack to my chest so I could keep my hand on the pistol that traveled with me. It was not going to be enough, but it was something to hold on to. My right hand never left it. It was all I could do to keep control of my bowels and get those kids down the hill. That's so interesting because kids should be, I thought, a lot of us have felt, that kids and dogs should be are usually the first ones to feel the alarm, right? So I wonder if you were being singled out. It sounds like it. Thank God we made it down the hill to the pool just off the road without incident. Almost every step there's some punctuation missing. Almost every step after it seemed silly that I even brought us back. I cannot even describe how this messed with my mind. It brings me to tears just writing this. I never saw a thing. I never heard a thing. And yet I was about to shit myself in fear. I have never been back there to this day, and I never look up. I wish I had. I do still go deep into the woods. If it makes a difference, a few years later, my kids and I saw a ridiculously large black bear stroll right through camp, silent as a ghost, to proceed in knocking over dumpsters, not trash cans, and breaking into cars for dinner only a few miles away from this incident on a different trip, and our reactions were awe and respect, not an ounce of fear. Could have eaten any one of us if it chose before I or anyone could have done a damn thing about it. Steve, I do not claim to have contact with any of these wild people or understand what in the hell is going on. I do know for a fact that there are evil, very evil things out there. Some of them look like us, and most of them do not. They come regularly, day and night, awake and in dreams. As you say, there comes a time to fight. F the evil bastards, right in their stupid faces. The only power they hold over us is fear. Let them come. Our bodies are frail, but our spirit is unbreakable, and it is our spirit they wish to feed off of. F them. Let them starve. Hear, hear. I'll never be afraid again or driven to fear, even if it means my physical death. Good for you. I love reading that. I beg you and your listeners, please do not condemn an entire people because of the fear inflicted on us. Maybe there are a few bad ones. Maybe, as the First Nations say, there is more out there than there is more out there than them, and the others can change shapes at will. Well, listen to the First Nations. Their knowledge is timeless and obviously persecuted. For you, Steve, please read to all if you feel the call. You are under attack. Never surrender, never give up, and never let anyone think for you. Respectfully, Josh. Oh, I'm right there, Josh. There's no worries about that with me, pard. I'm right there, man. I'm right there. Appreciate your share. The terror, right? The fright is something else. It's something else. It's something else. Now, I haven't experienced the well, I've been pretty freaked out. I've been pretty freaked out a couple times. The one time when that whatever was blasting that tree through the underbrush was a little terrifying. When I was in the cabin getting slapped, that scared the absolute shit out of me. Seeing that being when I was 17 years old, but not seeing its facial features was probably the key for me. But just seeing that being hide from me. That was more, I didn't have a terror feeling. I had more of a absolute vulnerable fight or flight, and I had to do fight and flight at the same time, meaning I was ready to fight because I didn't know what was going on. I just didn't know what was going on. I thought, this dude is here trying to kill me. This dude's trying to kill me. Oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? This dude's trying to kill me. I gotta stay quiet. I can't hear anything, I can't see anything. You know, all that was going through my head while I'm trying to keep my shit together and make sure I moved absolutely ultra slow so I could hear everything all the way to the truck in the dark. But I'm just saying, I didn't have terror in my soul, right? Moving along. Let's hear some more voices. You settled hi. Hi, Steve. I've been following your channel for a couple of years. I'm on board and am a fellow truth seeker. If you ever have any time, it'd be great to grab a beer or coffee one day and have a chat. I live in Maple Ridge and I run a naturopathic practice in Pitt Meadows. I'd love to have the opportunity to go up in the bush one day with you and have an adventure. Dr. Jamie Gallant, ND. All right. Who knows? You never know. Your knowledge would be very interesting to hear as well, I might add. I heard a rumor, a friend of mine has the same thing, is involved in the same industry, same business, natural healing. And they said that Trudeau is going to have all of you shut down in the next 2 years or something, by the end of the next 2 years. Is that true? I wonder. A little dictator. All right. We'll see. You never know. Jamie, you never know. Thanks for writing in. If you could, write us in what you know, if that's true or not, about Trudeau knocking you guys into the ground. All right, this is titled Track Rider. Hello, Steve. Please don't use my name. Gotcha. Enjoy your channel very much. Been a hunter, trapper, and fisherman since I could hold both ends up off the ground. I've had many experiences with these woods people in my life. Some scary, some just sounds, whistles, howls, tree knocks, and growled at once. That scared the crap out of me. I'm a track inspector on a Class 1 railroad. No way. Here we go. You guys get to see all the country that I would love to see. That's why I don't want my name used. I seen my first one in a severe thunderstorm crossing 30 yards in front of me. After rounding a sharp curve, female, 8 feet plus, had her hand on a little one's back, helping him across, water pouring off them both. My floodlights really lit them up. Stopped to straighten a sign once. A huge one took off less than 20 feet from me. Biggest one I've seen so far, at least 12 feet. A true giant. He jumped a 25-foot wide, dry creek with ease, like we would hop across a small ditch. I've seen him probably 6 times since, same area, trying to get a photo of him. Red in color, nappy, matted hair, kind of slim in build, compared to all the others I've seen. Hey, what are you doing? There's fishing gear up there, you dork. Get off, down, get down. Come on, get down. Get down. You're gonna get a hook in your feet. Clown. Oh boy. Tell you what, I'm sure you guys are getting a kick out of that. Holy cow. What a ding dong. In a minute, doggy. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, trying to get a photo of him. Red in color, nappy matted hair. Kind of slim in build compared to all the others I've seen. Almost like he wants me to see him. I have some on my hunting lease as well. We have all seen the big male. We call him Big Ugly. He stinks like hell. They are real, folks, believe it or not. Nearly all the old track inspectors have had sightings. Most won't talk about them. I've heard a few good ones. Thanks a million for what you're doing, Steve. Keep it up. God bless you and yours. All right. I'm guessing. All right, this is recent. You're still with us for sure. Okay, I gotta do some of this dog. She's gonna drive me bonkers. She probably wants some water. Sarah probably wants me to take her to the pound. I'll be back in a minute. All right. The panting maniac is at the house. Anyways, track inspector. Listen, I will guarantee you if a bunch of you guys track inspectors have had experiences with these beings, you are here listening to me here in this YouTube channel. Please, please, if you would, please email me the people here, email the people through me, and share this, what you've seen, what you know, please. All right, I can't, how much more plain can I say it? I will not share your name, your location, anything. If you ask me not to, I got you. I've got a proven track record at 100%. I don't screw people over here. So if you could email me in, use an anonymous email, I don't care. So email me and share with me what you got going on. Now to the man who just emailed us and wanted to get pictures or photos. I don't know how would you do it, because I think I do believe that if you have it in your mind, I'm gonna try to sneak a video of you. They're gonna know. So I don't know, how do you go about doing that? Another thing you could do is possibly put a camera like a GoPro, a high-end, top-of-the-line GoPro camera, put it on the highest quality setting and put it on time-lapse possibly. You could try that, a GoPro on time-lapse at the shortest intervals of taking photos. You could try that. Or you could just juice up that battery, put it on the highest setting, put the largest SD card you can find in that GoPro, put it where you believe it'll catch everything that you might see, and let it rip. Just hit record before you even start your shift, or maybe even a mile or two before you get to where you think you may have these experiences, right? And then and I would carry a spare battery or two and SD cards, so as soon as you did run out of juice or space, you stop, reload, hit record, keep going. That's probably one way you might be able to pull it off. GoPro. Do you think, you guys, the GoPro? What other camera would you think? Just a regular video camera with nothing coming off of it, set on record with like a 128 gig card, or better if they do make bigger ones. I don't know if they do. I don't know. But I would try that if you're into it. I mean, if that's what your goal is, because you're seeing these things that often, give it a go. But I got a funny feeling as soon as you start, you won't see nothing again, right? They know we're outclassed. They're in our heads. The pattern is they are in our heads. Okay. Oh, on that note, you know what? Before I forget to share with everybody, you know what I'm going to do? I know where this spot, remote Vancouver Island, where we keep tabs on these huge, monstrous Roosevelt elk. And the next, up and over the hill and down the bottom, is where a friend of mine's seen one of these beings, and where they're seen very, very often. Now, are they on this drainage where the elk are? Of course they've got to be, right? Are they there very often? I don't know. Haven't had one tell me yet, but you know what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Because my friend of mine cut this trail specifically to go put trail cameras for the elk. Now what I think I might do, because there's a massive gravel bar there, and you can see from the top of any mountain, you can see the fresh elk tracks in the riverbed. It's very remote, very cool looking, with that, with the rainforest background and the river, untouched wilderness. Is really, really remote and cool. What I'm thinking of doing is, once I get back from this first adventure, I'm thinking I'll take that battery pack that works out. I'll backpack the Starlink, and I'll backpack, what else will I backpack? Maybe I'll get a shitty laptop, camera, and I'll put it in a log pile, a log jam on the river, and I'll have it facing the most trafficked area, long ways, so you can see that whole area and upriver, or probably upriver, so the sun's always behind the camera. And then I'll hit live feed, and I'll stream it on the How to Hunt YouTube channel. And you can log on to it any time of night or day to have a listen to the elk screaming, or whatever else it might pick up in the background, as well as the wolves and the bears and the cats, the elk fighting in the river, running around, everything, right? Wouldn't that be freaking cool? Now I wonder if anybody can let me know, email me, if I can change, see there's a plastic white coating on the dish that picks up the satellite. Now I don't need that thing sticking out like a sore thumb to some random person walking by, maybe a hunter or something, so I need to change that face to camouflage. Do you guys think I can spray paint that dish Would I be able to paint it, spray paint it without screwing up the reception from the satellite? I haven't a clue. Maybe it's a stupid question, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I've never built a satellite dish in my life. But somebody can get back to me and let me know if you believe I can spray paint the cover of my Starlink satellite thingamaboober dish so that I can make it more concealed in the log pile. And I am going to do that, and I'll give you guys all the link, and that'll be ridiculously interesting, because it'll be in the middle of nowhere, and I'll be logging on from home at home here too. It'll be so freaking cool. All right, enough babbling. Here's another one titled, There Must Be More to the Eyes. There must be something more than your, quote, eye shine, quote, theory to account for what eye contact is all about. What if, as you think, there's more than defense and self-preservation involved? What if there was once a time in our development that we could mind speak, and that function was triggered by eye contact? I've thought a lot about that, and almost feel when I make eye contact with strangers, I almost expect that to happen. However fantastic that may seem. Our eyes are very complicated, and add to that complication, they are hardwired directly to a gland deep in the center of the brain called the pineal, which interacts with our DNA. No one wants to discuss this because the capabilities of this system have been hidden from us, but known to certain groups of powerful people through time. Ask the Pope, any Pope, or Freemasons. Good luck getting the truth there. Keep digging, Steve. I'm on the trail too. Roger in Texas. Okay, Roger, the pineal gland's nothing new to us, but it was, I think, what is possibly a block, man, I'm sweating here, is people actually acting on decalcifying their pineal gland. And I think I'm guilty too. I haven't gone out and made it my top 10 priority list to decalcify my pineal gland, but I want to, and I'm going to. And once I do, I'm going to urge as many people as I possibly can to do the same, especially if it starts to make a difference in between my ears. Then I'm going to scream about it from the top of every mountain until everybody starts catching on. Thanks for the email, man. Appreciate it. And I'm right there with you. I strongly believe something was going on with our skills. Without a doubt. All right, what else do we got here? This next one is titled Bailey, Colorado. Oh, I'm hot. I'm going down to the river after I do this to get those SD cards and swim. Bailey, Colorado. Steve, I thought I'd share this story with you. Back in 1992, my wife, God rest her soul, went to Bailey, Colorado to do a little fishing. The Platte River, Platte River, runs through the town, and it was an easy spot to catch trout. We decided to walk down the river for a couple hundred yards and had to push through a lot of bush and small trees. After about 15 minutes of walking, we started to smell a really bad stench, like a dead carcass rotting. My wife was complaining about the smell when we both heard a low growling. The growling was only about 10 yards away from us. I told my wife it was probably a mountain lion, and we just needed to keep moving. So we kept moving, and in a few yards we got out into a clearing with the river running through it. There was a bend in the river, and it made a small sandy area along the river. I noticed a few footprints in the sand and told my wife that only an idiot would walk around with no shoes on. My wife said it had to be a basketball player because of the size of the footprint and how far apart they were. We did some fishing and then went back down the opposite side of the river and didn't have any problems at all. This took me about 15 years to figure out just what was happening on that river. I'm pretty sure we were just a few yards from a Bigfoot and didn't know it. Thanks for your site. I can't tell anyone what happened there without being laughed at. Take care. Scooter Barnes. Feel free to use my name. Appreciate you, man. Welcome to the club. And thank you for being a brave, free person and using your name. I am so overheated. Oh, look out, we've got a whole pile of photos of footprints. Wow. One of them looked familiar. Let's read it. And then I am going swimming. Hey Steve, thanks for what you do. The story I'm about to tell you is not my story, but I assure you that I have seen Bigfoot on more than one occasion. I'm providing the pictures of the Bigfoot tracks as proof. My neighbor's children were high on the Uintas. I know exactly where they were, but I think I will keep that out of the story. They were fishing and came across these tracks. They described the scene as having multiple sizes, and they said that there were tracks everywhere. Obviously, they did not get a plaster. Obviously, they did not carry plaster of Paris with them, so they came back a day or so later. When they arrived at the spot where they had seen all the tracks, there was a forest ranger there, and he was just finishing his duty of destroying all the evidence. Strange, right? I'd heard stories of rangers destroying Bigfoot tracks, but this is the first time that it was someone that I know. As the story develops, the ranger gave them a ticket for driving on the road they had used to access the area. He claimed that it is not a road, but I know that road, and I know that this was nothing more than an intimidation tactic. The actions of this ranger are total BS. Anyway, I doubt I'll be writing about my experiences. We'll see. Mike, share your experiences and also share me where this ranger is and what his name is, all right? Share with me if you can, who was this guy and what is his name? And I will get a hold of that guy and I'll do it live. All right? That man works for the people. He doesn't screw the people over, and that man is a absolute coward pussy. And I'd love to talk to him in person, firsthand, or online, on the phone, however I can do it. If you can get me that man's name, I will get a hold of him. All right? That's it. It's just enough's enough. I don't give a shit what your credentials may or may not be. I don't care. Enough's enough. We the people, period. The people are the power. We hold the power. And no more are you little coward ass-licking pukes screwing the people over anymore and doing the dirty deeds of the dark. Oh, but I'm a park ranger with a badge. You're nothing. You're nothing. Please let me have a crack at this guy. It growls me when I hear of a fellow so-called human being working against his own community. That means you are on the opposite side of the street. You're the enemy in a way. And that's what triggers inside me when I come across a direct link to it. That's why I keep saying, give me some of these guys' names. Who are these people that are intentionally intimidating and lying to the people? No more. No more. Give me his name. I am a little heated up. I better calm down. I'm gonna load this into the computer, and I'm gonna get Sarah, and we're gonna go down to the river on the quad. I'm gonna bring some spare SD cards with me, and I'm gonna go get those SD cards, and I'll throw everything that's on them on a video, and I'll share them with all of you. And then I will be back here early in the morning tomorrow for a change, and I'll get more heard. I'm not gonna stop, and I'm looking forward, absolutely forward to hearing from the track inspectors. And I'm also looking forward to hearing who this sleazy, coward, puke ranger is. I want to know who he is.